All right, stunning new claims from a CIA whistleblower telling Congress that the CIA offered significant monetary incentives to agency officials who were investigating the origins of COVID.
The whistleblower says these incentives to 6 of the 7 analysts led them to change their positions from originally calling COVID likely a lab leak to claiming the origins were, quote, unable to be determined.
All right, Congressman Brad Wenstrup is investigating these claims as House Coronavirus Subcommittee Chairman. He joins us now. Congressman, what makes this whistleblower credible in your eyes?
Well, he's a senior level person, an employee of the CIA. He's been there for quite a while. He's come forward. We didn't ask him to come in. He came in on his own, and he came to both committees, the Intelligence Committee as well as the Select Subcommittee on the pandemic. And he makes some obviously very serious allegations that we're obligated to follow up on for sure. When a whistleblower comes in, that's our job. It's part of oversight. But what he is saying is that the CIA, in their effort to decide whether this came from the lab, the virus came from the lab or came from nature, they have a COVID discovery team that comprised of 7 people. 6 of the 7 people went with the idea that this came from the lab. They leaned towards that with some confidence. One person, who apparently was the senior leader, was more in favor of it coming from nature. Fine, but instead of going forward with that, somehow they changed things around to say we're unable to determine at all. What he's alleging is that there was monetary payments of some type going to the 6 people to change their mind and to go with saying that we were unable to determine this. So that's a serious problem, obviously, and the CIA is taking it very seriously, as well as our committee, as you might imagine, because this is within our purview to look into these types of things.
It would be a staggering, it's a staggering allegation were it to be true that someone's being paid. Are you able to, is there a way to trace whether these payments were made and what they were for? I mean, how do you produce evidence of this claim?
Okay, so a couple of things. One is we're asking the former COO, Chief Operating Officer, Andrew McCridis, to come in and talk to us voluntarily, hopefully voluntarily. It is alleged that this was the person who was a key figure in putting this together, this alleged change of mind, if you will. And so that's somebody that we want to bring in. We're also seeking documents and all the communications that took place amongst this team and outside of this team. Look, I have a good relationship with the director of the CIA. Hopefully they're going to be very cooperative. They have expressed extreme concern since we put this out. And you know, this is all on top of what we saw before with Dr. Christian Anderson going to Dr. Fauci saying this looks engineered, and then he puts together a team, he prompts the team, to use their words, to write what is known as proximal origins that wanted to definitively say this came from nature, and all of their internal discussions were, this really looks like it came from the lab, it likely came from the lab, we know they're doing this research in the lab, and then they come out and say it came from nature. The big question is why? Yeah. Why was this done in the agency at CIA, and why was this done amongst these scientists led by Dr. Fauci or prompted by Dr. Fauci?
It seems so brazen. They had to know that there's a chance this was going to be leaked. It was going to be out there. This whistleblower, does this person work at the CIA? How does this person know that this happened? Is he or she one of the ones who was paid?
No, the whistleblower is not, that I know of. The whistleblower is wanting to remain anonymous at this time, and that's part of the whistleblower process, and we respect that, and we'll keep that. But, you know, if you look at what happened with the IRS and the DOJ accusations from a couple of whistleblowers that work at the IRS, one wanted to remain anonymous, later came forward. We'll see how this plays out, but at this point, the whistleblower is anonymous, seems to be credible, and obviously these are serious allegations, and that's why we're going to look into them hard, and I appreciate your interest.
It'd be easy to just look at their bank accounts.
We did wonder why the FBI thought lab leak and the CIA didn't. That's kind of odd.
Yeah. Well, it is very interesting, because now, if you really look at it, and if this is true, the FBI and the Department of Energy, who has all the national labs, and now the CIA, all seem to really believe that this was more likely from the lab. Those are 3 pretty powerful agencies that probably have access to a lot of information.
Yes.
And that's the big question, too, with these other agencies that said, oh, it came from nature. what I've been reaching out and trying to find from the intelligence community is who they actually talk to, because it matters who you talk to make your decision. If you just talk to the authors of Proximal Origins, who felt it came from the lab on their internal documents, but then said it came from nature, well, then that's what you're going to believe. So this is important, and this has been part of our investigation as well.
Well, the CIA put out a statement to this whistleblower saying, we do not pay analysts to reach specific conclusions. We take these allegations extremely seriously and are looking into them. We will keep our congressional oversight committees appropriately informed. Let's hope they do keep you informed. We shall see. Congressman Brad Wenstrup, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.